when Trump gets reelected, you thought 2008 was a meltdown. I mean, sorry, you thought last year was a meltdown. The next, after he wins in 3 years, you're going to see total and utter mania riding the streets, because they're going to get crazier and crazier as time goes on, because Trump keeps getting better and better. 800,000 jobs, Dow soaring. None of these controversies are true. All the racist hate crimes turn out to be hoaxes. The more they try to find problems with him, the more we realize what a great president it is. And instead of them going, oh, geez, I guess I was wrong, they're incapable of that. So the crazy girlfriend just keeps going crazier and crazier and crazier.
Gavin McInnes is our guest. And then in the next hour, I intend to cover news up with the phones up, ladies and gentlemen. But seriously, I don't need to sit here and preface this. I was not brought up to be racist. I was not brought up to be against people that were gay or straight or whatever. And to me, people's sexuality was like one aspect, like they played baseball or, you know, they were, you know, a carpenter or they were into music. It was just like, I'm not sexually obsessed, you know, unless it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm getting in bed with my wife or whatever. And then to just see this continued obsession with sex, it's what perverts do. And then to just see everything territorialized in every racial or cultural group, and now they're saying math is racist, and, you know, years ago Halloween's racist, and then setting up Play-Doh and crayons for people at college that get upset when they see a pocket constitution. We all laugh at it, but mental illness is being induced on these people, and I think overwhelmingly, and a lot of documents show, by design. Gavin, what set this system up, this perpetual motion machine, and where does it really end? Because I asked you this earlier, and you kind of didn't get to it. What goes past, kind of like Spinal Tap, you know, 10, you know, why not just make it go to 10? Well, because it goes to 11. What's past 11? Now that they're dangerous, angry ex-girlfriend, what comes after that?
Riots in the streets. Massive. I mean, we've already seen this. We got a taste of this when Trump was elected. They were delirious. They were attacking people in MAGA hats, attacking 50% of the population, because they believe this narrative that they created themselves, that everyone who doesn't agree with them is Hitler. And they have no interest in hashing out the nuance there. It's black and white, and they have to fight. And these people have never been in a fight. They laugh at the cops. They shove cops, and you go, have you been out of your house before? Have you been outside before? You can't shove a cop, dummy. No matter what has happened, the most you can do is seethe and hope to get justice later. But I think it might be a genetically white trait, you know, this sort of self-debasement, this self-hatred. I was walking in my bar the other day, and I think people are starting to know who I am in my neighborhood. And so all the white people went, oh, my God, that's the guy, blah, blah, blah. And then there was two black guys at the end, and they just looked at me. They had no clue who I was. And I thought, these white people are sort of offended on behalf of gays, minorities, trans. But the gays, minorities, trans, the black people, they're not part of this thing. It's sort of like, let me give you another example. I work with this Russian guy, and I said, I saw this kid wearing a hammer and a sickle, and that must drive you nuts. You must hate that. So here I am getting mad on his behalf, and he looks at me, he goes, why would I give a crap about a hammer and a sickle? I'm so glad to be out of that place. If someone wants to wear a communist pin, good for them. I could not care less. And I thought, here I am mad at this person on his behalf, and he doesn't care. There's something about white people, affluent, middle-class white people, where we're just like, can I have your problems? I want to do your problems for you.
Well, isn't it that we got rid of Christianity and some of the extreme oppressive forms of it, and now the grandkids and children of very oppressive people that thought going to the bathroom was a sin, they now are just telling everybody else everything else is a sin, and they're basically the same kind of twisted Puritans that want to beat everybody over the head.
Exactly. Well, Jim Goad calls them church ladies. Paul Joseph Watson, great video out now called The Sexual Puritans. They didn't abandon Christianity. They just changed its name. And now their religion is atheism and telling people what to do and looking down at everyone. I mean, they're really like the Catholic Church way before we had all this sort of a 2.0 version. They want the Bible to be in Latin so the people can't read it. That's who they are. They're really these old school aristocrats, and they're un-American at the end of the day, because America was founded to get away from all that stuff.
So much is going on, so many questions. What do you think about Trump 11 months in? I mean, as his presidency, it appears, starts to become really successful, they go into an even more hysterical spiral, but maybe we're seeing signs of sanity. Donna Brazile turning against him, a CNN host, Wolf Blitzer, many others, Chris Hayes turning against him, MSNBC, and now we see the real canary in the coal mine killing their ratings, absolutely dedicated to going after Trump. Now Saturday Night Live comes out and says, blow up the whole party. They're evil. They're bad. Get rid of them. Donna Brazile's a hero. Is that an attempted makeover a few days late?
They're imploding, but will the implosion ever end? It's sort of like an Animal House where that guy's saying, everyone be calm, and everyone keeps running past them. I don't think that they'd even notice that they're on fire. They just keep getting nuttier and nuttier. And by the way, you ask where it ends? When Trump gets reelected, you thought 2008 was a meltdown. I mean, sorry, you thought last year was a meltdown. After he wins in 3 years, you're going to see total and utter mania riding the streets, because they're going to get crazier and crazier as time goes on, because Trump keeps getting better and better. 800,000 jobs, Dow soaring. None of these controversies are true. All the racist hate crimes turn out to be hoaxes. The more they try to find problems with him, the more we realize what a great president it is. And instead of them going, oh, geez, I guess I was wrong, they're incapable of that. So the crazy girlfriend just keeps going crazier and crazier and crazier.
That's the crazy thing about it, is that they never admit they're wrong. I mean, that's true insanity. And they just make up more and more fantastical lies. And they see like all of America as like a real Dungeons and Dragons game. And like Trump's the demon lord and they've got to kill him. And you're like, dude, this isn't real.
That's not how, I mean, a scientist has a hypothesis like life needs light. So if something is in a totally dark place, there can't be light. And that was an accepted belief in science for decades. I'm going to say hundreds of years. And then they started finding life forms embedded within rock that had never seen the light of day, but they're alive. And what did scientists do? Did they have a meltdown? Did they have November 8th, we're going to scream at the sky? Did they smash windows? They went, oh, recalibrate. Turns out you can have light. You can't have life without light. That's what a scientist does. That's what any normal, intelligent person does. Intelligence is being wrong because you're improving. It's like lifting weights. You're tearing away at the muscles so they rebuild stronger. But these people can't be wrong, and that makes them dumber. And they just keep getting stupider and stupider. And they go to college and they come out dumber than when they went in. They don't want to evolve. I heard Sonny Johnson over at Breitbart, and she said, look, if a guy gets arrested, he's in the hood, he goes to jail, he shouldn't be allowed to have a gun again. And then this guy called her up and he goes, look, I'm a family man. I did my 2 years for having a legal gun, but my wife now can't have a gun in the house and we live in the hood. And she goes, after she thinks about it for a while, she goes, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. I changed my mind about that. You should, after you do your time, be able to buy a gun, especially if you're a dad in the hood. She's smarter now. She's evolved, but the left devolves. And that might be why they love Islam so much, because with all this inbreeding and the first cousins, they seem to be the only culture in the world that manages to go backwards in time and devolve.
It's true. Wow. Gavin, pulling back from this, what's their ace in the hole? Because they have created a lot of really weak, dependent people that are so stupid they don't know what's going on. Then you've got kind of the pseudo-intellectuals that believe they're the intellectual elite. That's why they're so upset at us, taking back control from them just for the sake of sanity. I think when you talk about them wanting to blow up the whole system to get back at reality, I think that's really their ace in the hole. And I think we better be ready to deal with them.
Look, our ace in the hole is free speech and getting the word out that this isn't about trans kids and this isn't about refugees. This is about sabotage. The reason they're normaling pedophilia right now is not because they think children are sexual, just because they want to wreck stuff. They want to see Rome burn. They want to burn America to the ground, and they have no plan B. So we need to get the word out. As far as their strengths go, their strengths are that we tend to be weak. We haven't had a war in a long time. We tend to have gone soft. So when the crazy ex-girlfriend throws the brick through the window at your new job and the manager goes, sorry, buddy, you're too expensive to keep here. I got to keep replacing the glass. The employee just tends to go, yeah, okay, walks out of the place like Eeyore or something and says, that's life. We just keep getting these people that are too easily intimidated.
You're absolutely right. We're out of time, but have you seen the footage of Mall of America yesterday when the knifing attack happened from the Somali? And it's like 95% women in burqas and looks like just you're in Somaliland.
It's like P. Diddy always said, mo Muslims, mo problems.
What's the left's plan with this? I mean, this is getting crazy.
Sabotage. Dude, if you found out that there was smallpox, if the left found out that Republicans were buying smallpox blankets, they would be thrilled. They would donate. If you had a fund that you said, I'm going to make smallpox blankets that say Trump on them, I guarantee you liberals would support that. They want us dead, as Ann Coulter said. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to find middle ground. They want total and utter annihilation.
And the poor Somalis from their own wrecked country, they're the dynamite.
Dude, I've been to Israel. Muslims say in Israel, they go, we're happier here in Israel, living in Israel, than we are living on the other side of the wall. We're safer under Jewish rule than we are under Muslim rule. No one likes living with Muslims, not even Muslims.
But now they've gotten here and are politically correct. Now they do have the ethos to be Muslim. They finally found their pride with the left. Gavin McInnes, thanks for joining us. Wow. Stay with us.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfowarsStore.com.